2 months ago, I watched this video of Ali Abdaal talking about side hustles to help people earn money online. I got really curious and thought to myself, do these side hustles really work? So many other YouTubers talk about earning money through side hustles like YouTube, brand sponsorships, and affiliate marketing. But all these are only possible if you have a YouTube channel. Considering that 99% of people that I know do not have a YouTube channel, then these videos are practically useless to the average individual out there. So for the next 30 days, I'm going to try this side hustle that Ali Abdaal recommended, which is to make killer thumbnails for YouTubers out there and seeing if I can make money with it. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the entire process of how I plan to achieve this, so definitely stick around if you want to see the journey. So first, we're going to start off with the master plan to get everything started. So step one is very simple. I'm going to learn as much as I can about learning to make thumbnails, great thumbnails for YouTubers. And the great thing is I'm already a YouTuber, or rather I would like to think so. I already have a YouTube channel where I post YouTube videos every single week. So I'm sort of a YouTuber, and I'm also need thumbnails that I have to do every single week, or rather I send it to my thumbnail designer and I get them done. So I will have to study things a bit more in depth. I kind of know what I want in some of my thumbnails already, but I also want to find out and see if I can put some thought into my thumbnail making skills and really see what people are really looking for. Maybe the different genres require different things. Some thumbnails require the faces, you know, like all the Mr. Beast ones with all those kind of things. Those are some things that we can really play into it as well. I'm going to learn the thumbnail basics and principles. I even had Ali Abdaal's course rather recently, so I can also check that out for some additional tips on thumbnails. Then step two would be I'm going to, once I have already gathered all this thumbnail making knowledge, I'm going to apply it for finance channels in Singapore, because since my channel is something that I do on personal finance, self-development, and maybe productivity, I would like to do thumbnails for Singaporean YouTubers. I actually want to apply it for finance channels as well, and I might also do it for people that I regularly watch, like Ali Abdaal or even Gary Vee. These are two people that I really follow quite a bit. Step three, which is what Ali said, which is the permissionless apprentice. So what this means is that I'm going to approach other YouTubers, or rather broadly speaking, what it means is that you're going to do the work upfront first in order to really make sure that you are doing the work for people, and people can see your work in that sense, and you're able to see whether the quality of how your quality of work is and everything like that. Instead of going about the other way where you ask them for a chance to work for them, you do the work up front first. So you take all the risk, you just waste your time, your energy, your resources and everything like that. You put all those in, and then you just send it to them and see if you can kind of get them to see the quality of your work. And if they don't like what they see, they're probably going to employ you in that sense. So I'm going to approach other YouTubers who need it, and I think where I'm aiming is people who already have money, which means they have a decent audience. Maybe thumbnails is something that they can work on, and that is where the gap is to be bridged, because in order for YouTubers to be successful, the thumbnails are very important. Of course, it's coupled with the title as well, but if you have a very captivating thumbnail that really sends the message of making someone curious, making someone informed about something, then people really click on it, which is what we call click-through rate. If people can really click onto it, then that will increase the amount of audience that they can watch their videos, and with that, then a lot more money will be generated towards their account. So it makes sense to really invest in thumbnail making skills in that sense, which is why I got my own thumbnail designer as well. And of course, when I did it, I think my views mostly 10x for a couple of videos, and that kind of paid off in the long run in that sense, because so many more subscribers came to me, so much more watch time, and it gets me so much closer to being monetized. I'm sure people who understand how important thumbnails are willing to pay more for thumbnails in that sense. So then we're going to dive into how to become the thumbnail scholar, which is to learn the basics and the principles. So I'm going to learn everything possible from YouTube and Skillshare. And I think Skillshare, if you guys are not familiar with it, it is a website where you can actually sign up for free. Usually you get about 1 or 2 months off, but here's a hack. If you sort of delete your account, or rather want to unsubscribe from the membership close to where you are ending your membership, then usually they give you a month off. So usually you have about 2 to 3 months to go through all these things and learn these online courses without having to pay any money. So thumbnails, or rather Skillshare, is one of these classes that I can take in order to learn thumbnail making skills. One interesting idea I got as well is actually I already have a thumbnail designer. His name is Jerome, and he is on Upwork. I found him on Upwork. One idea I got, which is to really pay him to mentor me, and he's actually a very interesting person. He has about, I think, 40,000 commission that he has earned from Upwork itself, and he's one of the top rated thumbnail designers on Upwork. So I thought if I could pay him to mentor me, then that would be actually pretty nice. I can probably shorten the amount of time that I can spend in order to learn more things and basically just fasten that learning process in that sense. So I think just like this clip over here where Alex Hormozi talks about him learning how to do Facebook ads, it's very good because he wanted to learn how to do Facebook ads, and I think he approached this CEO in that sense to ask how to make Facebook ads, and the CEO quoted him his hourly rate. His hourly rate was $750 per hour. Can you imagine that, paying so much money to a person like that? And fast forward to now, it took him around 8 hours. That whole 8 hours, I think he spent about $6,000 just on 8 hours of time, and the skill that he learned in that 8 hours was able to generate him millions and millions of dollars that he was able to achieve through his business as well, which I think more than, like who wouldn't pay that? Like everybody now, if you knew it and you put in the effort, you obviously would pay $6,000, earn millions of dollars, because the ROI is insane. So just like that, I want to hire him to make sure that I can shorten the amount of time that I can spend learning this, and he can teach me everything that he can, so that hopefully I can elevate my skills enough that somebody will employ me and I can start this side hustle successfully. So the next one would be to turn myself into a thumbnail shifu. Basically, after I've learned the basics and the principles, it's time to practice. I'm going to practice as much as I can. I'll be practicing thumbnails on making videos that I have just watched on YouTube. I mentioned that my YouTube channel is centered around personal finance, productivity, and self-development. So I want to be targeting those YouTubers because I want to show that I have knowledge, and it's basically where my interest lies as well. So what better way to put those two together and then really help them as much as I can based on what I am doing as well, and the things that I am really observing in that sense, which is pretty nice. So I'll be targeting those YouTubers, those that I can show credibility in. But as a start, I can also do on YouTubers that I watch frequently. So those are like Ali Abdaal, Gary Vee, and Alex Hormozi. Those are just some of the people that I watch quite often. If I'm really feeling funky as well, is that I can do it for people like Sing Sing as well. I don't know if you guys know, Sing Sing is a sort of a streamer and ex-competitive player for Dota 2, and I sometimes watch videos on his Dota games as well. So if I'm feeling funky as well, then I can do some fun thumbnails for him as well, which is just some fun that I can have. Basically, the whole concept would be I'll just be watching through their entire video. I'll be finding moments in that video where I can really take a screenshot, and then I can really use their face and then put some things in it to really make a good thumbnail and probably send it to them. I don't know if I can send it to them, or if not, I can really just document my journey. I can put it on Instagram, I can put it on YouTube. One interesting thing that I really thought about as a side note was that I can actually be producing very interesting content, which is I can show you guys how I'm improving my skills every single day and having fun along the way as well, trying to hone and really make this side hustle into something that can earn me money and also learn a new skill and have fun at the same time. Most importantly is to have fun and really learn throughout the journey. So I think maybe if I had an everyday document series to show the thumbnails that I'm doing every day on YouTube, TikTok, or Instagram, or anything like that, it sounds pretty fun as well. So it might be an interesting idea that I might want to put into play. Let me know down in the comment section below if you guys think that's a good idea in that sense. And last but not least, it is me trying to be a vulnerable panda. So what I mean by this is that I felt very vulnerable, or rather I really refer to myself as the closest animal that I refer to myself is like a panda, because it just likes to laze around, and I just kind of like to laze around as well. It's a little bit like my spirit animal in that sense. And why I feel vulnerable is because I felt like I actually wanted to post this video, or rather want to make this video like last week itself, but I couldn't at all. The entire week I was just suffering from analysis paralysis, and I just like couldn't get myself to make this video because I felt so inadequate, and I felt like I wasn't good enough to do this video. Who is going to watch me do my thumbnails? Nobody's going to do so, and everybody's just going to think I'm a big joke and I don't know what I'm doing, and all these thumbnails are just so retarded. It's such a waste of time. But I think that inner voice is just something that's telling me that I'm inadequate, and I'm afraid of people not watching my videos. I'm afraid of how insecure I feel about this, and just putting it out there, how transparent I am with you guys, it just makes me feel so vulnerable in that sense. And I pushed this project away for 2 weeks because of how I was feeling. I honestly think I'm just overthinking things, and I wanted to think through everything before starting, all the steps, which is to, the entire master plan, which is to learn the thumbnails from scratch, learn the basics and principles, and then really apply everything, and then learning how to get clients, learning how to get all this. And honestly, it's not very important. Just get started. That's probably the most important. And you figure out things out step by step. If it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. It really doesn't matter. It's just the journey that counts. The process is the most important thing, and the outcome doesn't matter. I keep telling myself this, but I'm so conditioned to go for the outcome. like how much money I can earn, what can I get out of this, what's the ROI on this. I hate thinking this way, but I'm just conditioned to do so. So this is my way of trying to push away all that bullshit and really to approach this in a way where I can actually be productive and be happy doing it. I'm just gonna go out there and do it, and I guess I'll update you guys on the journey and see where this takes us in that sense. If you enjoyed this video, then you probably enjoyed this video right here talking about how to save your first $100,000 as a beginner in 2024. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next few videos. Bye bye!